guys, it's Finn. I thought I'd make a catch-up video. I've just seen my therapist at the Laurels to talk about my changing thoughts about lower surgery. So I thought I'd catch you up as to where I'm at and as to why I'm changing my mind about lower surgery after being quite against the idea when I very first came out. Before I go on, I just want to say that this will be a very, very frank, honest and open video about my genitals and about my sex life. So if you're a family member or you're just somebody that doesn't want to know those things, please do navigate away. You've been warned. Right, so why am I changing my mind? Well, I think the main reason I was against phalloplasty particularly is that when I very first came out, my vision of myself as a man was as complete working order, everything possible. But then, as I found out more about surgeries and procedures and what have you, it seemed to me that phalloplasty was a massive risk, very long, complicated operation that would take a number of years, and that even then, it wouldn't be a particularly nice looking penis, it wouldn't function particularly well, it could go wrong in all manner of ways, and to me it just seemed too big a risk. Although I wanted the penis, I didn't want all the complications that came with it. So at the time I decided to rule out phalloplasty, but to maybe look at metoidioplasty later on, as I'm now doing. My dysphoria wasn't really that noticeable before top surgery, mainly because my chest dysphoria was so bad it kind of like overshadowed anything else I was ever feeling. And now, after top surgery, suddenly my lower area has become much more in focus. Every single day, you know, I just feel so much more like the man I know myself to be. I look in the mirror and it looks fantastic. But then I drop my eyes and it's just like looking at one of those 3D puzzles where you just can't quite see the image, and it's just not right. And I'm becoming increasingly anxious around using the toilets. It's just, you know, in this ongoing social awkwardness that I'm still dealing with, urinals, toilets are the bane of my life still. They really are. My peacock has helped so very much, but it's a bit like when you very first get a binder. In the beginning, you know, binding my chest was wonderful because I had this lovely flat looking chest and it was incredible, but then soon, you know, I was getting sick of the pain and of having to kind of like cover up every day. And it's the same with the peacock. In the beginning it was wonderful, it gave me the opportunity to stand and pee at a urinal, to have a bulge in my pants, to have the weight of genitals in my pants, and it was wonderful. But now that novelty's worn off, and what it does is remind me every day of what I'm lacking. It's something I've got to take off in the evening and wash, it's something that I have to be careful with. If I go to a urinal, I don't have backflow, if the urinal's too high, I can't reach, all of these things, and it's just a reminder every day now of what I don't have. So although it helps, it's I don't want to have to mediate my experience as a man with something. It's like, now I don't have to bind. It's fantastic. I can just rock up, be the man I am. And I have to put on a penis every day, and I'm not liking that. So this is basically why I've been changing my mind. And in changing my mind, metoidioplasty was where I was going to head. But I've now realised, after talking to Mr. Christopher, that it's just not going to be something that I feel satisfied with at all. I do feel that they give amazing looking results, they do. But there are very, very few people that can stand to pee successfully at a urinal. Even with the use of DHT cream to increase my growth, the likelihood is I wouldn't have enough to clear my fly and stand to pee at a urinal, and that is one of my biggest issues. It would also make things extra complicated in terms of sex with Nat, because at the moment obviously I use my peacock for sex. If I had Meta, that would be another reminder that I don't have enough length to penetrate Nat, and that I'd have to find a way of using a hollow prosthesis or something to have sex with Nat, it would actually complicate things in a bedroom far, far more, and I hadn't considered that. So yeah, I think after a lot of painful soul searching, I've ruled out metoidioplasty. It's not going to work for me, with my two main things being standing to pee. Well, no, my main thing is standing to pee, but there's all the other things as well. I would lose the bulge in my pants, I would have something smaller in my pants, I'd then have more complications with having sex with Nat. It's just not going to work for me. Metoidioplasty is not a valid choice for me. So that leaves me with phalloplasty. Now, I have to put my hands up and admit to being one of the people that has contributed to the myths and misconceptions around phalloplasty. I've just read Hung Jury, which is a fantastic book that I highly recommend to anybody that is looking at lower surgery. It speaks very candidly in the beginning about how we've got it so wrong in the trans community. There is so much negative press out there about lower surgery, about phalloplasty in general, about, you know, penises not being functional, or it going hideously wrong, or people losing penises, or not having any sensation, and so forth. And I've kind of taken on board that. That's what I believe for myself. That's why I made my choice not to do it. And I've also talked about those things in my video and put that view across. And I hold my hands up now and apologise for it, because it's not the case. It really isn't the case. I realise now from reading this book and doing some more research that it's actually more common to have a very lovely looking penis, to have a very functional penis, and for guys to be actually very pleased with the results. I was actually very, very wrong, and I'm realising that now. And so this is why I'm now considering phalloplasty. I've written some things down to try and cover the things that I was actually the most concerned about. And so the main one was, you know, I thought Meta was a better option for me. But as I've said, it really does feel like Meta would be a trade-off for me. Something I'm choosing because phalloplasty is too much of a risk. But now I'm realising that although there are risks involved, lots of guys say that the risks have been worth it to get a fully functioning, sensate penis that they can use to stand at a urinal, stand to pee, and feel like a fully functioning man that everything matches head to toe, which is what I'm looking for. I've always said you don't need a penis to be male, and I still fully stand by that. This video and my feelings are mine and mine alone. There are very, very, very many ways to be transgender, to be male. If you do not want lower surgery, it doesn't make you any less trans or any less male. It's all about how you see your own journey of completion. And my journey of completion doesn't feel complete at the moment without a penis. In order to feel complete and fully satisfied in my body, I feel I do need a penis, and I need a fully functioning one. As I've said, I really did feel that results weren't good. Now, I've only seen newly done penises. I think I've looked at all these newly done penises and these newly scarred arms and panicked. But actually seeing results that are a couple of years down the line of both the penis and the arm, it looks fantastic. It really does look fantastic. As for complications, there are complications. It's a big operation. I would be going for radial arm phalloplasty with urethral lengthening and the erection device. So, you know, you've got the arm that the skin graft's taken from, you've got the operation to actually construct the penis, you have donor skin taken from beneath the buttocks, you're going to have the urethral hookup, erection device. With all of that, law of averages do state that there will be complications. Of course there will be, and I'm going to prepare for that. But everybody that has had the surgery that I've kind of talked to, or most people that I've talked to or read their blogs or whatever, say that despite the complications, it's been worth it long term. And that's kind of what I'm thinking, really. You know, that the results would be worth it. If I took good care of myself and did what was prescribed to do, then things should be okay. I was really worried about the arm scar, but, you know, I'm pretty scarred already, so having an additional one there, people stare at my arms anyway, it's not going to make too much of a difference really. It does heal really well. I've seen them a couple of years down the line and they look fine. And you can get sleeves to cover them. They're designed for people to cover tattoos. I found a place called Tattoo X. I'll put the link at the bottom. There's another one called Tat Sleeves, but they've got a logo emblazoned on them, so that's pointless. But these tat sleeves, they come in all different sorts of colours, including different flesh colours as well. So that's an option to cover it. In terms of the length of the operation, Mr. Christopher did say that, you know, to allow a good couple of years for the operation to be done, because it comes in 4 stages and you need some time in between each operation to recover. So it does feel like a chunk of time to be taken out. But in the grand scheme of things, 2 years out of my life for long-term life satisfaction is feeling worth it. I did actually say as well that I wanted to wait a couple of years, that, you know, I'm in a good space now to get myself back working, and then to relook at this in the future when maybe in a couple of years' time, with how technology moves forward, that there'd be some huge leaps in development that I could then take advantage of. But thinking about it, even if they do roll in a couple of years, for these new developments to be rolled down to the NHS is going to take quite some time. And I've been sitting and reflecting on all of this, and I'm at a place now where I'm about to start a new career. You know, I'm going to get my degree in 2017. I've just got some volunteer work that I'm starting. And I'm at the very foundation to start building a new life, a new career, etc. To start doing that, and then in a couple of years stop and have this surgery, just seems arse about face to me. If I was already in an established career and I was working, it would, but I'm not. I'm right at the beginning. So I'm thinking now that it's best just to put those foundations in, stop trying to do the infrastructure and the roof, get the foundations in. I had a vision of myself as a man, fully complete and working, and I want to see that vision to the end. It feels right. It's been difficult kind of few months in trying to work this out, and I'm still not quite ready to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it in this video anyway. But, you know, I'm going to have phalloplasty. But it does feel very strange to say this out loud, to have kind of gone full circle and be at a place now where I'm thinking this is the option for me that's going to make me feel 100% complete. It just feels, like I say, that, you know, this is the right time. It would work perfectly. I could work it alongside university and, you know, in time with all my exams, so that in 2 years' time, hopefully the operations will be complete, I can graduate, all of the above. So yeah, just feels, I'm at the place where I've kind of like decided that I'm doing this, but I haven't quite embraced that decision yet. I need to, in the next couple of weeks, work with, just kind of come into terms with this new part of the journey. I think it's just exhausting, isn't it? I've got to a place now where I've transitioned enough that I'm read 100% correctly, and my beard's growing in and it feels amazing, and my chest's wonderful, and I'm just like, yes, I want to go out and start life. And yet I've got another couple of years ahead of me now, and it just feels a bit exhausting. This is a big journey to take, but it's going to be okay, and it's going to be worth it. I just need to change some things around now. I had some ideas for the next 2 years that are going to have to be changed. I now need to get myself prepared for a new journey, a journey of birthing a penis, and prepare for that journey, and letting go of some of the ideas I had, and just rethinking about what I want to do over the 2 years, because I can't realistically get back to work at the moment. No one's going to take me on whether I've got to have an operation every few months. I'm going to do this volunteer work, and you know, they might be understanding and be able to offer me full-time work around it. I don't know, but I think yeah, I think this is, I'm glad to have drama therapy, and I'm glad to have a really good therapist at the Laurels that I can be in touch with, to help me through this, because it's not easy, and this is why I'm making this video, because I think it's really important to talk about the enormity of this. It isn't as simple as, well, if you're having questions about it, then you're obviously not ready and you don't want a penis. It's not that. This is a massive, massive decision. This is huge. It impacts on absolutely everything, on the way I function in the world and in the direction my life will take for the next 2 years. So, these decisions aren't to be taken lightly, and I think the more people talk openly about just the enormity of it, really, the better, because, we shouldn't be going into this blind. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Just wanted to catch you up where I'm at, really. So I'm going to be looking at some laser hair removal for my newly haired arm. I'm quite sad about that. I'm going to have to come to terms with losing some hair on my arm. Well, I'm going to lose my arm, but, well, not all of it, but about that much. So I'm going to looking at that at the moment. So yeah, I think my next update will be about how I'm now going to embrace this journey and move into acceptance of this is my choice. Now I've got to fully embrace it now and move forward. I still need to see Dr. Dean and get it all finalised, of course, as well. So I'll update when that happens. But yeah, please do feel free to contact me. I've put my email somewhere on my YouTube page, because YouTube messaging is just rubbish, and I don't see the messages. You can't reply to them directly, and even when linked with Gmail it's very confusing, or maybe it's just me and being a granddad. But I'll put my email at the bottom of this if anyone does want to chat to me or offer me any advice, people that have gone forth and prospered. I'd really appreciate that as well. But yeah, I shall leave it there. Thanks for watching and listening, guys, and take care of yourselves. Speak soon.